Hi, this is Ed Orell, Agency Director with Symmetry Financial Group. Welcome to our corporate overview, basically a 20-minute pre-interview covering exactly who we're looking for, who we are, what we do, and how we do it. Okay, and let me just elaborate on who we're looking to bring aboard our business team. Guys, we got a different approach to who we bring aboard. We're not looking to hire everybody and see who makes it and sort through people like that, and I'm sure you probably don't want that. We're looking for a fit just as you are. And here's what a fit is to us. Successful people that have had success in the past, okay, know how to get results and have above average ambition. Maybe not getting the results in life you want right now financially, okay, but have gotten results in the past, looking to get back there, all right? And really two types of income, and I say this because we have both, and I'm going to elaborate on them. The first one is how most people live. It's the self-driven temporary income. Kind of like you do a job once and you get paid once, whether you're an employee and you work your week and your employer settles up with you at the end of the week. Okay, same thing with a salesperson. You know, you sell something once, you get paid once. You get that commission one time for that sale you made once. Okay, kind of like renting. You know, it's good short term, but if you're always trading time for money, where does it really get you? Okay. However, most people, that's all they know. Okay. And again, we believe it's good for a short term temporary income, but really the ultimate is permanent income. And here's what permanent income is when you do something once and you get paid over and over and over again for it. Kind of like setting up a business. Okay. You've got a business, you set it up, and the business gets results. Okay, and those results are not tied to your direct activity day in, day out. That's permanent income. And we're big on results, guys. And here are the results we're looking for. Okay, time and money. Time and money. Time meaning we're not spending 100 hours a week, okay, to make $100,000 a year. You know, I personally don't feel that trade-off is worth it. You know, having no friends, okay, or no time to enjoy the lifestyle that you've created. Okay, that's not a good. So you can have money and be broke on time, or you can have time and be broke on money. That's not too good either. It's kind of like a school teacher in the summertime, all the time in the world, but the paycheck's not coming in. So that's not good either. But what's really good, obviously, is having both. Okay, time and money, and that's the result that we're interested in, having time and money. Where I've got the income to enjoy the lifestyle and I've got the time to spend it with the people I love. Okay, that's what we're looking for. Okay, and our results are our primary focus. What we do is secondary. And I say that to say this is that so many people get caught up in what they're doing, and they define themselves. I'm a pharmaceutical representative, or I'm an IT person, or I'm a car person, or I'm this person, that person. Guys, I mean, if you really think about it, does that really matter if you're getting the results and what you do is helping people, it's ethical, it's legal? I mean, the what really is second. It's kind of like buying a drill. You know, I go to Home Depot, I get a drill. I'm not as concerned about the drill so much as I am what it produces, which is that hole. Okay? Now, I'll tell you this, what we do, okay, has got to be viable, and our model is very viable. Okay? In fact, our viable theme, or what we do, is mortgage and retirement protection. And here's what that is. Mortgage protection, a borrower dies, okay, we pay that house off for the family. If they become disabled, we make sure those mortgage payments are made. Okay, and I'll tell you this, talking about viability, we've been doing this for about 10 years. We've been in the principals here at SFG have been in the mortgage protection business. And guys, we had the bubble, that real estate bubble. The mortgage bubble was intact up until a couple of years ago, and we were still doing a lot of volume. And here's why. It was kind of more of a luxury. We'd sit down with people that had requested it, and we'd ask them, should something happen to you, John, what we're marrying the kids going to do? And he would say, well, the protection's a good idea, but my wife can turn around and sell this house for $200,000 more than we owe. Okay, so it's selling in a week like our neighbor across the street did, and then she can get a mortgage on her own place, maybe a little smaller, but she'll have all that equity from the profit we made here. So not really that much of a concern. Okay, guys, that was before the bubble burst. Now here's the reality. Most people are underwater which means they owe more than the house is worth, or they're right at the water line where they're about even, and if they're above the water line, they've got a little equity, and they try to move that house, you're going to have to compete against all the short sales, foreclosures, and probably not going to walk away with any type of net equity. All right, so people are stuck in their homes. Families are stuck. So now when we sit down with people requesting mortgage protection and ask them, Mary, what are you going to do when something happens to John? What are you and the kids, where are you going to live? She says, I don't know. We owe more than the house is worth, okay? He makes more money than I do. I can't support this house on my own. I don't know what we'll do. We asked the husband, John, what do you think about it? He said, same thing. I don't know what we'll do. I got to make sure this is taken care of. So is it important? Are we helping people more than ever? It's never been more viable to be in mortgage protection because of what's going on, okay? And the second theme is retirement protection. What this is, you've got about 78 million baby boomers that have got their retirement money, about $7 trillion of it, estimates are showing, of qualified retirement, which means that taxes have not been paid. It's been put in a vehicle like a 401k or an IRA, okay, where they're going to have to now start paying taxes on it when they need the money, okay? So now that they're retirement age, that they didn't pay taxes on the seed, but now they got to pay taxes on the harvest, and they're going to outlive their money. It's the number one or number two fear of retirees. People are living longer. Now they got to pay taxes on all this qualified retirement they put away. The concern is outliving their money. We've got some great vehicles that solve that problem. Okay, so is our theme viable? Extremely so. But let me say this, it's a theme, guys. It's a theme, meaning it's not the end-all and be-all of SFG. It's just our very viable theme. Okay, now the key to our success is the SFG system. Okay, and we've got the viable theme, okay, which again is very important. But again, it's not the end-all be-all. What it is the SFG system is a key to our success. And there's really three components to the SFG system. Number one is lead generation. Okay? Basically puts us in a situation where we only talk to people that have requested what we're offering. We're not out there cold calling or prospecting or trying to chase people and convince them. Not that everybody doesn't need it. I mean, my belief is that if you've got a mortgage and you've got a dependent or even a legacy for your family, and you haven't taken care of that house, I mean, I think that's kind of foolish, but that's my opinion. But reality is that about 2%, 2 out of 100 families that get a letter to pay off their house actually fill it out, respond, mail it back, request. And so if there was good news, here's what the good news is. We only talk to those 2%. Okay? So I wouldn't even say we do is really selling. They want it. We're really enrolling, consulting, kind of solving their problem. They requested to have the house paid off. How can we help you? Okay, so that's the first thing. The second component is a proven sales system. We've moved tens of thousands of applications over the years in mortgage protection. So we have a system developed trial and error, developed correcting mistakes, where you don't have to make the same mistakes we did. It gets about an 80% closing ratio when you follow it. So it enables us to take that person, that family that requested the protection, get in front of them, solve their problem 80% of the time, okay? And then support. Guys, here's the thing, and I said it earlier, we're not big fans, and again, we're not looking to hire everybody, throw you up against the proverbial wall, as they say, and see who sticks. I mean, that's not our mentality, and I doubt you'd want to be treated that way either. Here's our mentality. We're looking more for a marriage than a date, meaning when we bring somebody aboard, okay, we invest heavily in that person. We do a lot of boot camps and training and recorded media, conferences, and just constant development for the reason to get you in a better situation and develop you, okay? And when you get better, your results are better. Here's what we know. We have very high retention because our associates are constantly getting better. And when you get better, you get better results. And when you get better results, you're working towards your goals of time and money, okay? Now, here's what a lead looks like. Like I said, we mail out tens of thousands of these across the country. on a weekly basis, you know, sometimes even 1 million. We extensive mailings, okay? 2% send it back, but here's what they do. They get this letter, you'll see it, Bank of America, it's generic to protect the innocent, so to speak. Okay, generically, Bank of America mortgage, $284,000 change. You know, to so-and-so, it's got the borrower's name and their address. You're entitled to protect your mortgage, pays your house off if you die, if you get disabled, if you're unemployed, it will pay your premiums, returns all your money if you don't use it, knowing that your family's protected. Okay, here's what happens. If something clicks emotionally, okay, this is an emotional product. It's an emotional sale, meaning they're buying it for somebody else, really, buying it for their family. Typically what clicks is a close friend that died or got sick, or a family member, and they're going through that struggle of trying to, you know, figure out, the beneficiaries are the ones left behind, the survivors are trying to figure out, you know, what am I going to do now? Where are we going to live? You know, how are we going to eat? Okay, so typically that's what happens, and something clicks. Okay, and they fill it out. They start thinking, man, if something like that would have happened to me, how is my family going to turn around and pay that $284,000 mortgage without my income? Okay, so it fills out the date of birth. They write this in, not us. Gender, smoking preference, occupation, home number, work number, best time to call, where to call, signs it, cell phone, folds it back up, mails it off to us. Guys, I'm telling you, the sale's already made. The marketing machine does the selling. I'll even tell you this, is that when we've got new associates that try to sell, it's kind of like overkill. When you try to sell too hard, you're not helping them, because they're not looking to be, they've already been sold. They're looking to cover it. Okay, so when you get a really good marketing piece, a really good responder, really good lead, okay, you don't need this elaborate fancy sales script. It's a very simple process. In essence, we ask them, you know, hey, Joe, I see you signed this. You know, why'd you send this in? And they sell us, guys. They sell us. We ask questions, and they say things like, my good friend just died or got sick, or my cousin, okay, just got disabled, and they're wondering how they're going to pay their house, and, you know, things like that. And, like, I want to make sure my family's got this house paid off should something happen to me. Okay? So they sell us, and we ask, you know, Mary, how do you feel about that? Well, we got to have it paid because we're upside down, or we owe about what it's worth, and I can't pay this on my own. I don't know what I'd do. Okay, and then we ask a couple more questions. We show them a couple simple options, all right, and we protect it. They want it. They just need a little help in making the decision and finding an option that fit the budget. We represent several companies. We find the best option, lowest cost that they can qualify for, okay, and we take care of it. Real simple stuff. Okay. Now, let's talk about compensation. Here's the thing about compensation. I went over temporary income and permanent income earlier. Compensation, guys, is a choice. And what I mean by that is it's based on a lot of personal factors like my self-image, my self-esteem, okay, my ambition level. You know, I've heard this, and it makes a lot of sense. You can't out-earn your self-image. If I view myself as a $40,000 a year person, then I'm a $40,000. That's what I am. If I view myself a $400,000 a year person, I'm a I'll rise right. That's what it is. And I say all that to say this is that it's not a one-size-fits-all. We allocate time, resources, money based on that income commitment. Kind of like a GPS you have in your car. You could be in North Carolina, you could be in South Florida, and I could plug in, you know, take me to Portland, Oregon, and I'll plug in an address in Oregon, on the side of the country. It'll tell me how to get there, turn by turn. Tell me how to get there, how long it's going to take, how far I've got to go. Now, what determines whether I drive to Portland or not? How badly I want to get to Portland, right? Or I could plug in my, 10 minutes around the corner, my buddy's house, and tell me how to get there. Both ways, same thing here, guys. And again, I'm saying all that to say this is that we've got several different models. The first one I'll cover is really a part-time sales position. Okay, part-time sales meaning you're going out there maybe 10, 15 hours a week. Maybe you have a full-time job. You have temporary income, and it's not getting you where you need to be financially, and you want to supplement that. It's kind of like the no-risk or low-risk, all-reward position, where you can go out in a couple days, like a weekend, and make $30,000 a year. Not a bad deal at all. You know, again, no risk, all upside. And what it looks like is you're about 6 sales a month, 1 to 2 a week. You're working 10 to 15 hours a week, if that. The average sale is $1,000 a year, but clients pay monthly, so it's $80 a month on average. Insurance companies annualize. All right. Total volume for the month, 6,000. We start off on a commission level of 60%. We go all the way up to 115%. So this is just a starting contract because it's small volume. We get 75% of the commission up front. So the insurance company takes that $80 a month, annualizes it, and then gives us 3/4 or 75% of our whole year's commission up front, which is about $2,700 a month, about $32,400. Okay, part-time. Not a bad deal. I think for a lot of people out there, an extra $30,000 a year make a big difference. Okay, full-time sales is still temporary income, trading time for money, but now you can start making that kind of income you need to make if you need to make it. Okay, I always view the field or mortgage protection, I view it as an ATM machine, like printing money, because it really is. I mean, take a lead. You could turn around in a week's time and amass a bunch of commissions quickly. So it's a great vehicle for that. 16 sales a month, 4 sales a week, 30 to 35 hours a week work. Okay, the average premium, again, $80 a month, $1,000 a year. Now you're 16 sales for the month, 16,000 in volume, 75% commission level now because you're performing at a higher level, 75% up front, 9,000 a month or over 100,000 a year. Okay, so these first 2 examples, again, being temporary self-driven income. Great for building cash flow, generating cash flow. But let me just say this, is that one of the other ways we're different is that I think a lot of sales organizations are looking to hire salespeople, okay, to make them a bunch of money, kind of like do whatever it takes. Let's work you 80 hours a week, work you to the bone and make me a bunch of money, make yourself, and then kind of burn them out with really no interest in any long-term relationship. And then, like I keep saying, that is not who we are. We're interested in a long-term relationship. And here's what we know long-term in sales is that when you've got the time and money balance in place, when you're making the money and you've got the time, you've got longevity. Okay, but if you're working 50, 60 hours a week long term selling, you're sometime down the road going to burn yourself out. Okay, and that's not what we're looking to do. So I say all that to say that temporary income or sales is really, we view it as a means to something a lot greater, which is permanent income. Okay, and here's what permanent income is. I put somebody in business once, and I get paid over and over and over and over and over again for it. So what do I mean by putting somebody in business? Guys, the job market right now, there have never been more underemployed or unemployed people of high caliber talent out there looking for work. Never. I mean, I've been doing this 15 years, but I'm sure maybe the Great Depression was, but that was probably none of us were around and old enough to remember that, right? But there's never been a time where there's been so much talent out there that's underemployed or unemployed. Okay? So looking for a vehicle to make real money, not this $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 jobs, but real money where they can get back to the lifestyle they had or maintain the one they're barely holding on to. You with me? Okay? So you've got all these candidates out there, and you've got a vehicle to do that. Guys, the vehicle we've got, there aren't many out there like that, where you've got turnkey marketing, you've got systems, you've got developed models. There's not. Okay, but when you combine the two, I find the talent, I put them in the SFG vehicle, I get them set up in business, I coach, mentor. Now they're in business once, and I get paid over and over again. So in this example, I put together 4 small teams through that model that are doing $50,000 a month or 50 sales. I mean, we have teams of 3, 4 people doing that. So I've got a couple businesses, if you will, a couple agencies that I've developed, I've supported. I've got a team leader, and I've got some associates under them, okay, 4 of them doing $200,000 a month. My average spread, I'm going to say 20%, spread being you can earn a contract all the way to 115, start on 60. So you theoretically could be, what is that, 55 points or 55% spread. We're being conservative saying 20. So the team does the volume. Okay, my team produces. I get 20% of whatever the team writes. That's my business income for putting the team together, supporting them, developing them. Okay, 75% of that I get up front. So now I'm at a $30,000 a year. I'm sorry, $30,000 a month override income. Again, that's that money. That's the money that comes in whether I'm actually going out there selling or not. That's the money that comes in, okay, from something I did once. I could take my family away to the Bahamas for a week and I still come back, okay, still come back to that $7,500 weekly, okay, that's a week, paycheck, commission, deposits. Okay, see that is the ultimate. I think that if you're gonna go crazy for something, that's what you go crazy for, because now you've got time and you've got money. You've set a business up, and we have very proven systems on the building side also. And it might not make sense to you, but I'm just telling you this. It's just like, guys, it's just like the selling side. We just plugging in candidates instead of leads. It's amazing. But I want to open your eyes to that because, again, based on our one of our company tenets, our goal is retention. It is having long-term relationships with our associates and creating that marriage. And when you get to that point in your life where you're getting paid on results from work you did 2 years ago, okay, that's long-term. Okay, so that being said, all right, hopefully you have a real good feel for who we are, what we do, what we believe in, where we're going. If you feel you're a fit for SFG, okay, here's what you need to do is you need to email the manager, okay, that reached out to you. Okay, email the manager that sent you this email to get on the overview, okay, and let them know the top 3 reasons why you feel you're a fit. Kind of like brag on yourself a little bit. We like to just, what are your strengths? Why do you think you're suited for this? Why are you a fit? Okay, and I'll give you a hint, is that we do weigh urgency very heavily in our hiring equation. We weigh way above talent, actually, because we know when somebody's urgent, they get things done. Okay, and I say that to say this is that after you view this meeting, okay, I would get right back to the manager. I would put some thoughts together in a couple minutes, compose that email, get it out, best contact number, and then what we'll do is we'll get back in touch with you and we'll follow up in the interview process and go from there. Okay, so that being said, thank you for your time and I wish you luck.